Hey, Aries rising, Aries sun. Let's look at the major aspect of what you might be releasing at this time, and then we'll look into what's incoming energy. So, the energy you may be releasing in a major way, this is going to resonate more with Aries rising, but it can also resonate with Aries sun. Judgment. Okay, so I feel like this is something kind of hidden. You might have been hiding this from the people around you, even like your closest friends and family. But something about like not feeling okay with how much like debt you're in, or how much like how much you're like obsessed about money matters, or your relationship matters, or maybe something more specific to you, might be something more taboo or niche, things that you don't like, other people don't know about you, or something like that. Maybe just like your close partner or something. But like how obsessed you are with like something according to like debt or taboo or something. Yeah. I feel like there might be some sort of intimacy issue, and you're keeping it closed, like behind closed doors, and you might have been keeping this to yourself for a very long time, and you're kind of like nervous about sharing it with others. So I'm getting like only your partner knows, or people that you've dated, or maybe a really, really close family member or close friend. Like maybe only like one person or one or two, maybe at most, know about this. And something you've been kind of struggling with for a while, and keeping it like behind closed doors. I feel like this is something that like is your excuse or your reason why you don't show up the way you think people want you to show up. If you've been single, it's like, oh, well, this is my excuse of why I don't like mingle with other people, is because I don't want them to know about like my fetishes or my intimate dreams and desires and what I'm like in the bedroom. Maybe you've been feeling kind of, I don't feel you being like insecure in the bedroom, but I feel you feeling like, I don't know, like you don't want to let people know what your like sexual dreams and desires are, for the fear of being like, I don't even like see you being like nervous about being judged, but I feel like you secretly judge yourself about your intimate desires, and like what you need from your partner. It could be, it might not even just be sexual, it might be like how like certain things you crave about a partner, that leads to arousal, that leads to more intimacy, that leads to desire. You might have very specific things that you like about a partner, physical things, or behaviors or personality that makes you feel, that turns you on. And you might like use that excuse for not dating or putting yourself out there, or for not connecting with your partner that much, or telling them about your wants and needs, or your excuse of like, oh, this is a secret that I have for myself, so I don't want other people knowing. So putting a barrier against yourself and other people, like it's just me and my partner against the world, or it's just me against the world kind of feeling. And it's because you have this like secret, and you're like, you make it more than it is. It's like, oh, it makes me different than other people, and I don't want people to judge me, so I'm going to close them off. But and again with this like debt and death kind of thing, like it might be like some interests, like you might be obsessed with some sort of like morbid hobbies, or something that someone would feel uneasy about, some interest, or some passions of yours. It might cause unease among other people. You might have experienced this in the past, and which is why you don't want to like bring it up. It might be more of like a recent obsession or curiosity or passion of yours. Look at that, 3 of Swords twice. I'm getting like unease, like you've been kind of sad that like people may have responded badly towards this interest or desire of yours recently. And it kind of made you feel shut off from the whole world. But I feel like this is something you need to release, because you know that everyone has their own quirks and own like taboo interests or niche interests and desires and passions that other people don't like. So it's kind of like you already know this. You already know, like, hey, you might have had a new interest or passion recently that most people don't talk about openly or publicly, or it's a very like specific thing that like not everyone's going to be interested in about. But like there's a ton of people who have very niche and very specific interests and passions, and you already know that like you're not abnormal. You're very, very normal. And this isn't something that makes everyone like at ease to talk about, or maybe not everyone has these like shared desires or interests, but you know that that's not weird. So it's like, why are you making it like something that prevents you from opening up more with other people? You don't have to open up about this specific thing if it makes you feel uneasy. And like everyone has their secrets, so it's fine. Like no one's gonna judge you for your secrets, because you don't have to tell anyone these secrets. It's your specific interests and passions and desires, and things like you like to look up, or like to explore in the bedroom, or with your partner, and it's who cares? like this too. So it's like you've been kind of using this as a way to kind of like, as an excuse to kind of like not engage with others, or not engage with others on a more deeper level, because you think like this topic is going to come up and like you're going to have to share your secrets. It's like, no, you don't. Everyone has their secrets. Everyone has their own thing, and you know this too, which is why it's kind of more frustrating that like you're not like releasing this. Okay, so what might be the more minor energy of this that you're releasing? This is more for like the Aries sun people. What might be like a minor energy of this that you're releasing at this time? Like missed opportunities. I feel like Aries sun people, you're releasing this like feeling of like, oh, I missed out on some opportunities because of like I was keeping myself back. I didn't take these opportunities. I think there might be one specific opportunity that you're kind of like kicking yourself about, like that you missed out on or something like that. Yeah, secret, private. Let me see. 2, secret. Yeah. I feel like you might have had a chance to explore this secret hobby or the secret desire more with a person or with a group of people who are interested in this kind of thing, or online group or something like that, a community, and you said no because you're worried about what other people might think of you engaging in these things. And you might be kicking yourself like, oh, that was my one chance. Like I met someone who has the same interests as me, or I met someone who has the same like desires as me, and intimately or in the bedroom, or has this like kind of like specific weird desire in someone's personality, as a kink, or like I don't know, just like an odd thing that you admire about someone, and it's just like, I know it's a weird thing, but I like it when like I love like sour foods, and I love to be with a partner who also loves sour food. And that's like a very generalized example, but like, it could be, like I like someone's personality that's very much like this, or someone who looks like this. It really turns me on in the bedroom. Or I connect better intimately with someone who also has, interest in these very specific topics or something like that. You might have also missed out on a chance of becoming friends with a person or a group or a community that has very specific niche interests or passions or hobbies as you. And you might be kicking yourself a lot about that. It's like, oh, well, it's fine. It's like, these opportunities come and go, it's fine. Nine of Swords, there's no need to kind of get stressed out about it. Like, will you ever get this opportunity a chance again? Will you always like kind of miss out on these opportunities because you're too shy or you feel like people will judge you too much? The Hierophant, like, long-term relationship. Yeah, so it's like kind of like, I feel like you're like, what if I missed out on this one chance to be with someone who I can be very comfortable and be myself around in a relationship? Like, this person, maybe it's an ex, maybe it's someone you dated recently, or maybe it's someone that you're currently with, and you're just like, oh, I don't want to open up myself about these things because what if I lose out on this opportunity? So it's kind of like, being open and vulnerable to someone again, or someone you're with right now because it didn't go well in the past, when you did, or you did have someone in the past that you like recently, maybe, that you kind of opened up about your very like real and unique self about, and it went well, and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna ever find someone who's gonna get me like that again, or who's gonna meet my needs, or like it's something like you're obsessed about, or something you're very like it gets you going, and it's like, it's just very like indulgent. You're letting your like obsession be indulged by this kind of person or this kind of passion. So it's like, oh, am I gonna get the opportunity to am I gonna get the opportunity to have this come around again? What does Spirit want to say about releasing this? Turn to your soul tribe at this time. Yeah, so it's like in your heart of hearts, Aries, rising Aries sun, like, that these people exist that have the same kind of obsession about this specific topic or this kind of trait in a person, and you can find solace knowing that you will find people again, or you'll be invited back into that group, or you'll find a new group that comes through. Just find them. They're always there. If you want to connect with people on that level, you can find them. So and it doesn't have like, you might have missed out on a chance with a partnership in this way, but you could find a friend who has the same interest or something. Or you might miss out on a group. You might be invited back into the group. You might be, you might have felt like you kicked this group out, and you might want to approach them again. It's like, you know what, I do want to be associated with this group. Or you might find another group that shares your passions in this way, or that you can talk to about these things. So yeah, like, there'll always be, Spirit saying, there's always going to be people you can talk to regarding these interests or passions or specific desires. They're always there, and this. If you're Aries sun, like, this is something you might have been dealing with throughout your life, or you met someone who's very unique and specific, meets your unique needs and desires very specifically, and it's like, oh, you keep missing out on it. Friends and relationships. And if you're Aries rising, this might be something new, a new desire, a new passion that you're obsessing over, and you're very shy to bring it to the world, but it's like, you don't need to. Everyone has secrets. And when you find someone that can relate, it's like nice, and you can always find someone that can relate. So the spirit's saying like you'll always be able to find someone that can relate. And you know this. You know this. So it's like, you know, let go of like using that excuse to kind of be fully yourself. Just know that everyone has secrets, and it's like makes you feel more confident. This isn't a weakness, this is a strength. You have an aura. You can see it as yourself having an aura of mystery around you, you know? And it'd be very attractive to people, even if you never get to, they never find out what that is. And it's like a fun thing about you, you know? Everyone has their secret. So like, you don't need to see that as someone, because you're very like Aries forward. Like it's very like, look at me, I have strength. And like, if you don't have this, if you see this as a weakness and it's like, it makes you lose your strength, that's a problem. But you already know that like this isn't an issue. It's just hard because you view it as a weakness, but it's not. It's a strength. It gives you a sense of mystery, and not everyone needs to know what a beautiful leader like you, everything about you, every detail about you. And there needs to be no fear about what if people find out. Who cares? Everyone has their own secrets. Everyone has their weird things, you know? So use it as your strength. It's something very unique and mysterious, and gives you added depth and layers to you. And that's a strength, not a weakness. And you know this. So let's see what's coming in. What's coming in? So major energy coming in for you, Aries rising. King of Cups in reverse. Okay. I feel like you might have been told to kind of be more like sensitive when you're handling your money and your income and your possessions. Like share more. Like you don't have to keep everything to yourself. Like you don't have to keep the burden to yourself. Like if there's problems or issues, share more. And it's kind of like, no, you don't need to. You have your personal finances. Like, you know, like, yeah, you might be in a partnership, or yeah, you might take care of the family's financial situation, or you might be like a manager, or you might be, you know, you might own your own business, or you might work with not just your own personal finances, but like the finances of another group, or like company or people. And it's like, oh, you don't need to, you know, shoulder the responsibilities or burden yourself. You know, it can cause a lot of stress. Like, why don't you share it? And you're like, no, you don't need to. I just saw the King of Pentacles here. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles came out. Yeah, on the Hierophant. Like, whether you're male or female, it's like, no, you don't need to be very like feminine in this very like in handling money. Like you can be male and female. You can handle money in a very like strong and serious way without having to get so like emotional about it. Or I don't know. I feel like there's people around you who are telling you like, oh yeah, you know, you should talk about your financial burdens with a therapist or a counselor or a family member. It's like no, like you have a really good head on your shoulders. It's something you've been working on very, very like strongly. Like I feel like you're someone who's been working on this very, very long time. working on becoming a very stable and secure person for yourself. So even if you're adding a partner to your life or adding a family member or, helping out more people in your personal life or, helping them with their finances or taking on more responsibilities at work, it doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing just because you don't share how you handle your finances. I feel like people are so always concerned about you, like, oh, like, are you doing okay? And it's like, excuse my language, but bitch, please. Like, I have been handling my finances and my financial responsibilities and my income and my good work habits for a long time. I don't need someone else to come in and worry about this for me, So if everyone's like, oh, so how are you handling your work? Like, how are you handling this, like, your home repair, or, are you able to get to work on time? Like, I feel like people are trying to like baby you, whether it's in your personal life or your work life. And it's like, again, excuse my language, bitch, please. Like, you've been handling yourself more. You've proven and shown people. I want to put this into Aries Sun. You've proven to people so much over and over again that you can handle yourself. It's like, how much do I need to prove to you? Just because I don't talk to you about every little purchase or, how I manage my household or how I manage my money situation, doesn't mean I don't know how to handle it. So what's coming in for you? King of Wands. So the King energies are in reverse. I feel like you're able to handle your daily routines, your work habits, your how you handle money and stuff like that, how much money you have where, like what do you have your money in and stuff like that. What you think about money, what you think about certain money practices, like you're keeping it to yourself, because like I feel like you've always needed to like prove yourself to your family or your friends or to people at work or something like that you're able to handle it. But you're like, you know what? I don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. And so because of that, you're getting, you've been like kind of fighting people for a very long time. And so I feel like now what are you bringing in? Success. Like, you already have success. You already showed what you're capable of. And I feel like it's just like a part of you. Like, you feel like you constantly have to prove yourself. And you have to tell people, this is what I achieved. This is what I'm doing. This is how much I've done. These are the steps I'm taking. This is what I've done to take this loan out, or, to get this new car, or to like, get this new job, or, to save up money, or, my money goals. Like, I feel like you constantly feel like you have to keep proving yourself. And I feel like what's coming in for you in a very big way is the Three of Fire. Concrete, guaranteed goals and like steps towards your future goals. So it's like you're not gonna have to like prove it to people anymore. Like, people are gonna be able to see like, oh, like this is what they're doing next, and oh, this is where they're going, instead of you always having to prove yourself. Like, this is what I'm working on. This is what I've been doing. It's exhausting. Breathe. Yeah, you can finally breathe. I feel like you're gonna be able to like your successes is going to now speak for themselves. Like, you're not gonna have to constantly tell people or feel the need to tell people this is what I'm working on, this is what I've been doing, blah 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 blah. Like, this is what, people, clarity. And it's because you yourself are getting clarity on where you're going. And so community, you're gonna realize that you've always had like, you needed to see where your life was going in order for people to see it too. And this is gonna go without saying, because like, you're gonna see that like the reason that you felt like you needed to always constantly tell people this is what I'm doing in my life next, these are my life goals, is because you felt like you didn't have clarity in your own life. So people kept asking you questions, which kind of might have been triggering for you, of like, oh, what are you doing? And like, it's because like, when you spoke to people, you spoke with uncertainty on your voice and kind of feeling like you had to prove something to them. But once you figure out that you know where you're going and what your life looks like, your voice is gonna have such strength, and you're gonna command people in a way that says like, you don't need to ask me this anymore, I know where I'm going. And they're gonna be able to see it without even having to ask you, and that's gonna stop this cycle. So what does this look like for Aries rising people? What does energy look like in a more like in a major way? For Aries sun, you've been dealing with this for a long time. For Aries rising, this might be something you've been dealing with specifically for the past few years. So it seems more like potent at this time. Knight of Pentacles. Definitely feeling you have vision of where you're going next. It was like very important to you that people knew where you're going and what you're doing next, like, or had like that people knew that what you were going, and you had stability and security in that. Yeah, this is like reconciling something from your childhood. Like, I feel like maybe people kept seeing you as someone like idealistic and someone who kept holding on to very childish dreams or childish goals, or like goals that you had when you were younger, and you wanted to prove to them that like, no, I have like mature goals, or I have like realistic goals for myself at this time, no matter how old you are. Like, people might think, even your kids or your grandkids or your siblings or your parents or your grandparents might think that you might have unrealistic goals or outdated goals, and they don't know if you are on like the right path, quote unquote, right now. And so you've always been on this like kind of like journey of kind of reconciling like what you wanted for yourself when you were younger and what you want for yourself now. And it's really hard to kind of combine the two, because it's like, I don't know, it feels like you're a different person now, but you still want to achieve those goals that you had when you were a child, or when you were younger. And you finally figured it out. You finally figured out how you can have the goals of when you were younger and the new goals that you have for yourself now. Aries rising, folks. The Emperor. Yeah, the Emperor comes in. That's you, Aries. You're met with like this new version of yourself, which takes like, the younger version of yourself and the goals that you had when you're younger, and this new version of yourself and the new goals that you have for yourself, and they're merging into this new version of you. And that's why this like reunion energy is in, because like you finally see the steps, the goals, the next steps in your life, and the new goals that you have for yourself. The Fool card is popping up, so like, yeah, new life. So I feel like you're refocused. As I refocus the camera. Nine of Pentacles, and you always done really well, but I feel like all you needed was this like one bit of inner work, which is to like prove to yourself that like you can have the goals that you've had when you were younger combined with the new goals that you have right now, and have success in this combined new goals that you have now. It's giving you so much more like relief, that you have clarity on the next steps in your life. What is this in regards? New beginnings. Yeah, the Fool card came up in reverse actually. So it's like this is coming in now. So October is when we have that last eclipse from this Taurus Scorpio eclipse. So on October, you might feel this October until next March 2024. In between that time, you might see this energy come in. Anytime you're watching, from like spring 2023 until spring 2024, anytime between now and then, you might feel this energy coming in, which is like meeting this new version of yourself. A friend that wants more. Because you wanted more, and you didn't know how to reconcile that within yourself, because it's like you had this goal. You felt like you were losing your a part of yourself, because like there's something about like the child in you still lives, and you didn't know how to kind of reconcile that. No regrets. Like, yeah, something about like maybe you've been telling your family or friends or colleagues or yourself that like maybe there's a goal that you've had since you were young. It's like, oh, I always wanted this car, or I always wanted this kind of family, or I always wanted this kind of money. It's related to money and kind of your job, and like how you saw yourself, like what you saw yourself doing every day, what your work life would look like every day, your daily routine would look like every day, and where you would be in terms like financially. And there's something about that you have no regrets about moving forward. Like you accomplish it, you did it, you've proven to yourself that you have this life now where you're making the money, or having the kind of life, the kind of routine, the kind of job that you always wanted. But you wanted something more. And so it kind of it makes you feel weird, because it's like, I have all the things I wanted. Like I got to the place where I thought I wanted to be, but now I want more. And like there's a feeling of like guilt, of wanting something more, but also wanting something, continue your spiritual studies, wanting something deeper. Yeah, it's really hard for me to read Aries, because that's like my complete opposite sign. But I'm surrounded by a bunch of Aries, so I can see that like you might have achieved what you wanted to in terms of your money and your finances. So where like having stability and security in terms of your money and your income and where it's coming, and you're okay with how your life looks in terms of, you feel proud of like, you know, getting up and going to work, or what your work schedule looks like, or how you have income coming in. Like you feel proud of that. But there's a part of you that's like wants more. and you're trying to make it okay for yourself to like, it's like, well, I have what I want, but I'm not feeling guilty for wanting more. It's like, I have everything I wanted. I have this, like, you know, I like the way I look outwardly and look to myself. I feel good about myself, about how I'm making money and my daily routine when it comes to my job or my income, and how hard I work. I feel good about that, but I feel guilty of wanting more. So what's going to come in for you? I can expand time when I'm inspired, because I feel like you might have felt like you don't have time to do something more than what you've already accomplished. You're like, oh, I should be happy with what I have because this is what I've always wanted, but like, is the guilt for wanting more. So what you're going to be bringing in: buying, trading, purchasing, bargaining. Two things. One, buying, and not purchasing. Buying what? Wealth. So I feel like you've had a taste of the more finer things in life. So you're going to be like buying more things. You might be buying into more like wealth set of mind. The wealth state of mind. So I feel like you're going to continue your spiritual studies. Because I'm getting, because I got like buying, not purchasing from spirit. So I feel like you're going to be, it's just more like enjoying more of the finer things in life. Like you've had a taste of the good life, and you might feel guilty, or people might like, you might feel guilty because like you got to where you want to be, and now that you want more money, you want more higher status at work, or you want to be even more busier in your day-to-day life because you want to take on more routines, and you just kind of enjoy the process of making money, or being busy, and working not hard but working smart, working in a way that you enjoy. You want more of it. You want to buy more things, and so people are going to be able to see that you are like poof, off and on, like going like higher and higher, because they're going to be able to see that you're purchasing, like not purchasing, you're buying more things for yourself here and there, and you have a taste for this like finer things in life, more vacations, more nicer clothes and stuff like that. And spirit saying like that's coming in, because I feel like that guilt of not like feeling like where you are isn't good enough, like that's where like most people can't even reach where you are now, is gonna go away. Protection. I can expand time when I'm inspired. So I feel like when you start buying these like nicer products, or better vacations, more expensive things for yourself, that's a sense of protection from other people, because they're going to be able to see without you having to say it that you're on the next level. You know what you're doing. You know where you're going, and that you're just going to get more and more. And if you're like jealous of it, or don't understand it, or want to ask me questions about it, like, no. Like, so your money, your wealth, you're going to be wearing it. It's going to be in your energy. You're going to be able to see it in your job and your work ethic, just how busy you are, just running around. And, you're going to really love, enjoy your life. You're going to and so that's going to be your protection. The fact that you're going to be leveling up, that don't have to even ask you anything. They're just going to be able to see it, that you're busy, that you have this nice watch on, that you have, you're going on this really exquisite vacation, that people aren't going to, that's your protection. This level of extra wealth or more than, and you already don't feel guilty about it. You've already done your spiritual work. This is something you're finishing up right now. Having no guilt, being able to buy these things and do these things and help people out when you need to, or not help them out, or it's your level of protection to not have people question you about these things. Okay, and last but not least, Spirit's advice for the Aries rising and Aries sun. The Devil. Shadow sides are coming to the surface to be examined. What toxic energy lies within you or in your surrounding environment? It's waiting to be released. This toxicity isn't something to fear, but something to acknowledge and change. You have the strength inside you to set yourself free. Ask yourself where you might be holding on to attachments, old beliefs, patterns, or addictions that are preventing you from evolving into your best and higher self. Yeah, you might be kicking yourself for missed opportunities with people who have a similar mindset or have similar goals or maybe niche obsessions and desires and whatnot. But you got to let go of that thinking, and you're moving on and upward. And, I feel like the Devil comes up sometimes when a little bit of fun is all that you need. And I think people might see you as the Devil because you have money, or because you're doing well at work, or because you're always busy. And they might think oh, someone who works a lot is the Devil, or someone who doesn't have time for their family or to even help them out with finances when they have so much, or that wear these nice things or go on these nice vacations they didn't even offer. It's no, kick them to the curb. You know what you're doing. You're not the Devil. You just know how you done your spiritual work. You, Aries, you're really good with knowing that having strong physical energies, strong abundance, a positive abundance in material possessions and monetary wealth isn't a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing. That means that your energies are so good and not toxic and healed when it comes to physical energies, and just not everyone just gets that, and you're not doing anything wrong by exercising your spreading your positive energy in your positive physical energies, so do your thing. And more wealth is coming in, more nice things, more finer things in life. And it's okay to not answer everyone's questions, and to know that people might not see you. You have protection. You're not that's other people's issues. You don't have to worry about that. You're protected. And the more you pursue your spiritual studies, for you, Aries, may be very much, at this time at least, may very well be pursuing more material wealth and more financial wealth, and having plans for even bigger and grander things. That's good that you're visualizing these things and manifesting these things. You have really good healed physical energies, and it's good to exercise that. And people who don't get it, that's their issues. And you're well protected because your physical energy is so healed that you will be more protected as long as you follow your heart and continue your spiritual studies, which for you, your spiritual studies are very much in line with your physical wealth. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the reading. Check out your rising sign, your sun sign, if it's something different. And I would take the energies from your rising and sun signs and mix them together, and you'll see the complete picture of what you're releasing and the complete picture of what's coming in for you. Right? Much love and light.